Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about colored pencils. First of all, let me say I am not an artist and I don't consider myself an artist. I do like to color though, and when I color, I generally use Gamsol odorless mineral spirits, a blending step, and Prismacolor Premier pencils. I'm doing this video for two reasons. One, the other day a few weeks ago, when I did my TARDIS card simple video for people to just be able to do it with things that they had around the house, I grabbed some of my granddaughter's generic colored pencils. I should not have. They were not good pencils. I had to work really hard to get any blending or color out of them. I should have gotten their Crayola colored pencils, because Crayola is a very, very, very good cheap brand, and you're going to get your money's worth if you just go and buy a set of Crayola pencils. However, I wanted to take a look at a more professional type of colored pencil that still wouldn't be breaking the bank if you decided to use it. So I ordered the Arteza colored pencils because while I had seen a lot of videos on the Arteza markers, and they are very good apparently, I hadn't seen any videos on colored pencils from Arteza. However, that doesn't mean that there aren't any videos, I just hadn't seen any. So I ordered the 48 set Arteza colored pencil set to compare to my Prismacolor Premier pencils. When I got them, I thought that they looked a lot like the Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils, so I thought I would order those as well. I ordered a 12 set of the Faber-Castells because I wanted to keep the prices under $20, and that's all I could get. The Faber-Castells come in a very nice tin. They have a nice color selection for the 12 count. They are an oil-based pencil. They blend very, very well. I swatched out these and the Artezas by just doing a light, dark to light at the top with just using the pencil, and then down at the bottom taking a little bit of the color and spreading it across the page with the Gamsol. Now, I have a 72 set of Prismacolor Premier pencils. It also comes in a nice tin for you to store them in. In fact, though, I have my Prismacolor Scholars in this tin because I used to get by on just a 12 count Prismacolor Premier and a 24 count Prismacolor Scholar set, and that's what I used for years and years. The Prismacolor Scholars I'm also going to compare in this video because I have them, so why not? And they are a wax-based pencil like the Premiers, but they are a little bit harder wax than the Premiers are. The Arteza pencils are also wax-based, I'm fairly certain. I'll try to remember to make note of that on my blog to make sure that you know one way or another. They come in a 2-tray tin that has a hinged lid. It's a very nice tin. I like the tins for storing the pencils because the Prismacolor Scholars came in a plastic container, and I didn't like storing them in that. But the Artezas, going back to them, I swatched them out as well. They have a lot of nice colors. There are some colors that I felt were very similar, like some of the blues and some of the yellows especially, but they also have some colors in there that I don't even have in my 72 count set of Prismacolor Premiers, so I think you get a good color selection. I decided to use the Lawn Fawn RAR stamp set and stamp out some dinosaurs and color them in with the colored pencils to show how I color, and so that you can see how each one of them works with them next to each other. The first row is going to be Prismacolor Premier. The second row is the Arteza. The third row is the Polychromos, and the last row is the Prismacolor Scholar. When I color, I usually just make an outline of what I'm coloring, add a little bit of color to it, and then take my blending stump and Gamsol and spread it out. I don't pay attention to where the light's coming from. I'm not that artistically trained. I just color until it looks the way I want it to look. I chose to use blue and yellow, orange, red, and green to color each of these little dinosaurs, and I tried to choose similar colors from each pack. They're not all the same. As you can see on the blues, the Arteza dinosaur is a little lighter, or excuse me, a little darker than the Polychromos and Scholar dinosaurs. But on the yellow ones, I decided to add a little bit of the blue to try to make a little bit of green so you could see how they mix. Some of them I like the way they mix, some of them I didn't so much, but I think it's more due to the colors that I chose to mix than the pencils. For each one of these, though, the Prismacolors are my favorite pencil, simply and I am biased, which I shouldn't be, but I am a little biased because I have used these for years. They're the first professional pencils that I used, and I just like, they're very smooth. You don't have to have a lot of pressure to use them to get some good color out of them. They blend really, really well. Many people don't like them though, because if you're trying to layer with them, they tend to have a waxy buildup from what I understand. That has never been an issue for me, but I don't do a lot of layering over the top. The Arteza pencils were a pleasant surprise. They have a lot of nice color in the 48 count, as I said previously, but they also blend really easily, and they're pretty smooth. They're not as smooth as the Prismacolor Premiers, but I was really surprised at how easily they went down on the paper. And the paper that I used is just some Neenah 80-pound cardstock from Walmart. I was really surprised at how well they blended and how easily it went down. I expected to have to use a little more pressure on them than I did my others. And on some of the colors I did have to, but not on all of them. The Polychromos, I didn't want to like them because I feel like they are very expensive, even more so than the Prismacolor Premiers. And I ended up really liking them. I can see why everybody raves over them. They are different from the other pencils. Like I said, they are oil-based and not wax-based. And as I said, I'm not an artist, but from what I understand, that is better for layering your colors. They tend to layer better without getting the waxy buildup that the others do. They blended really well with the Gamsol. And like I said, I can see why people spend the money that they do on these pencils, because they are a really, really nice pencil. Far nicer than I thought they would be. The Prismacolor Scholars, they are a good pencil. Like I said, I used them for years. They are less expensive than the Prismacolor Premiers. They still have the same pigmentation, which is really, really nice. They blend just as nicely as the Premiers do with the Gamsol, and I really like them as well. I wanted there to be one clear winner. I wanted to say, oh, these pencils are definitely the best, but there aren't. There's no clear winner here. The Artezas hold up. The Prismacolors hold up just as well as the others do. They blend nicely. They layer nicely. From what little that I have used, I haven't layered all of them, but what little bit I've played around with, they layer very nicely. The price breakdown for them is a Prismacolor 48 count set on Amazon was $32.95, which was 91 cents a pencil. Polychromos didn't have a 48 count set. Their 24 count set was $30 or $1.25 per pencil, and a 60 count set was $70.79 or $1.18 per pencil. The 12 count set that I got of the Polychromos, as I said, I wanted to keep it under $20, and it was $15.56 or $1.30 per pencil. Prismacolor Scholar only comes in a 24 count set or the 48 count set. The 48 count set is $16.72, and that's 35 cents a pencil. And the Arteza comes in a variety of sizes. The 48 count set was $16.89. I think they have a 72 count set on Amazon, but I'm not sure if there's anything bigger than that. But anyway, the 48 count set was $16.89, which is 35 cents a pencil. So the Artezas and the Prismacolors are right on spot with each other as far as the cost. The only difference between the Prismacolor Scholars and the Arteza from the other two are that you can only buy them in sets. You cannot buy individual pencils. For many people, that's not a problem. I personally like to be able to buy the individual pencils because I tend to use some of the same colors over and over. And you can buy, I know Hobby Lobby sells the Prismacolors, as I'm sure Michaels does, in individual colors. But if you wanted to get a full selection of the individual colors, you can get them from Dick Blick, and I'll have information on my website about that. I think they're like $1.19 for the Prismacolor Premier pencils on Dick Blick, and the Polychromos you can buy individually from Dick Blick, and they're closer to $2 a pencil though, I believe. As I said, I'll have all that information on my website. The reason I like to buy individual pencils is I intend to fill out my Prismacolor Premier collection by using the stock pencils, and also, like I said, I use, especially blues, I tend to use the same blues over and over. And so it's nice to be able to replace my favorite colors when I need to without having to buy a whole new set. The Artezas and the Prismacolor Scholars, you're not going to be able to do that, but if you're just starting out, they're great pencils, and if you decide you need more, you could always add from the stock pencils from either the Polychromos or the Prismacolors Premiers. You could always get stock and add to your collection that way. Because there's no clear winner, not even really, I mean, if you went totally by price, the Arteza and the Prismacolor Scholars are the same price. I think that whatever pencil set you buy, then you will like it. So my only suggestion is choose which one that you think that you are the most interested in and the one that best fits your budget. If you're looking to get into it long term, I would probably go with the Polychromos or the Prismacolor Premiers. If you're just starting out and not sure how often you will use them or if you will really like it, then I would just go with the Artezas or the Prismacolor Scholars, either one. The only way that the Prismacolor Scholars and the Artezas would differ, in my opinion, is that I know that I could buy stock pencils individually, and if I couldn't replace my Arteza, or excuse me, my Prismacolor Scholars individually, I could replace them with the Premiers as the colors run out, because they have some very similar colors. I have a 302 Scholar pencil. There will be a 902 Prismacolor Premier pencil that is the same color, but just a softer wax base. And anyway, I want to thank everybody for staying with me, and although I haven't been doing it on previous videos, I need to get in the habit of saying please like and subscribe, and I appreciate everybody that has stuck around with me this far and is helping me get this channel started. Thank you so much. You all have a good day.